HarperCollins presents Men I've Loved Before by Adele Parks. Read by Catherine Bailey. Chapter 1. Nat picked up her phone. Its smooth, cool shininess was instantly soothing. Once again, she ran through the birthday to-do list. It wasn't that she was a neurotic controlling type, she told herself. It was just that it was important to her that Neil's birthday was absolutely perfect. Actually, she was a neurotic controlling type, but luckily her husband rather liked it in her. He recognised that her organisational skills propped up his tendency towards the chaotic. 1. Confirm cake has been delivered to restaurant. Check. She'd already called the Bluebird restaurant and verified that the moist chocolate cake with lavish marshmallow stack had safely arrived in the kitchen. It had taken some negotiation to convince the restaurant chef to allow Nina's homemade cake into his inner sanctum in the first place. But Natalie was very persuasive when she needed to be, and she considered her husband's 35th birthday such an occasion. Neil would not think his birthday complete without a cake baked by his mother-in-law. The Bluebird restaurant on the King's Road in the heart of Chelsea was undeniably stylish, but the obvious sophistication and daring modernity was not at all intimidating because some clever interior designer had chosen warm, rich colours and subtle lighting, which created a relaxed and intimate ambience. Nat had thought it the perfect place for cocktails and dinner with friends. Neil would appreciate the modern British menu. He always had to stop off at the Chippy if they ate at a Nouvelle Cuisine restaurant or at a sushi bar. While she'd been on the phone, Nat had also checked that the reservation was for 7:15 p.m, not 7:30 p.m. She'd once read a tip in a magazine about how to ensure great service in a restaurant, and she'd been struck by the suggestion of making a booking for 1:15 or 1:45 the hour, as the vast majority of the general public arrived at restaurants on the hour or 1/2 past. Nat had never bothered to follow the tip before, but tonight she was keen that everything, including service, was heavenly. 2. Confirm time of reservation. Check. Whilst on the phone, she'd also changed the reservation for 8 people to 6. Neil's brother's wife, Fee, had called this morning to cancel. Again. Babysitting issues. Again. Nat was disappointed, for herself and especially for Neil. She knew he'd have loved to have had his big brother there tonight, not least because Ben was always rather good at discreetly mediating between Tim, Neil's oldest friend, and Carl, Neil's most fun friend. Despite the fact that Neil, Tim and Carl saw each other socially at least once a week, from what Nat had witnessed over the past 7 years, it was clear that, other than a deep and enduring affection for Neil, Neil's best mates didn't have that much in common. Neil appeared to be unaware of the slight tension and tussle of there being a threesome, or at least he did a damn good impression of seeming so. He was happiest when everyone just got along. After Nat had informed the restaurant about the alteration to the number of guests she was expecting, she'd also made sure that the sommelier's selection still included Chenin Cuvée Quartz, Piron and Lafont. She was quite nervous about her pronunciation of the wine's name, but the last time she and Neil had visited Bluebird, well, the only other time in fact, he'd commented how much he liked the wine, and she'd taken note of it so she could try to track it down in a supermarket. 3. Confirm availability of Chenin Cuvée Quartz. Check. She could almost feel the maitre d' rolling his eyes in exasperation through the telephone. No doubt he thought she was painful and was probably contemplating instructing the kitchen staff to spit in her soup. Nat didn't care. All she cared about was giving Neil a great night. Nat had never got so excited about her own birthdays. Actually, she preferred to ignore them altogether. That date wasn't much cause for celebration, but Neil's birthday was something special. The day Neil came into this world was really important, at least to her. Not that she was given to saying such soppy things, she preferred to show her feelings through her actions. That's why she wanted tonight to be wonderful. The sun had cooperated, which was a bonus. It had been a hot and hazy day. The warmth still snuggled in the London pavements and brickwork, and in the smiles of people who spilled outside pubs, beer bottle and fag in hand. Nat loved the lively sun-induced chatter that erupted between strangers. She loved the brightly coloured clothes that, like butterflies, could only be spotted in London for a fleeting summer moment. And she loved
Sample complete. Ready to continue?